Hello again, friends, and welcome to another segment of Doc G's Wine and Spirits Review. I guess what I'm going to have to do is call it Doc G's and Ann's Wine Spirits as well, since she's kind of joined us now for the last couple segments. The reason she's here today is we're going to change it up a little bit. But before we do that, I just wanted to say I hope you're enjoying some of the cocktails that we've been featuring lately, but it's now time to get back to wine. Mm-hmm. So welcome and cheers, and we'll move on from here. That's good. You want to say hello?
Hello again. I've been wrangled into being the chief cook and bottle washer here, so...
Wrangled is a little too strong. Persuaded, maybe. Wrangled.
My arm hurts.
Okay. Now we got a comedy routine going here. All right. So, one of the things that I've wanted to do, and this has been... I've tried to arrange this and just never got around to it with a lot of the things that I wanted to put into the segments over the last year. But one of the things that I wanted to do, because it's an integral part of what I do in terms of having my wine, and that's pairing it with food. It's rare that there's that rare occasion when I want to just have a drink. I usually have a cocktail. I always used to say, as I've said in some of these segments, you can also have it with just a glass. But truth be told, it really does serve you best to have your wine with some food, because it helps make the wine develop even more than what it is when it's just in the glass. So today, for our first food and wine pairing, believe it or not, we've been doing these over a year, and this is the first food and wine pairing that I'm putting together for you, along with the help of my lovely wife. So I'm going to turn it over to her to talk about the food that we're preparing here for you today. It's something very simple. And then we're going to talk about the wines. Then we're going to take a break. We're going to throw this in the oven. And then we're going to come back out and we're going to taste it with the wines. So with that said, let's get into the prep.
Everybody loves pizza. Pizza is one of my favorite foods. But I thought I'd mix it up today and not really show you a recipe for a traditional pizza. This one's a little bit different. And it was introduced to us by some very good friends who served it one evening out their house in the backyard, fireside, nice wine. It is great, and it has been a staple in our house ever since. And I think you'd enjoy it too.
It's wonderful.
So let's get started here. Okay, the very first thing you need is this bread, which you can buy at the Giant Market, Wegmans, Redner's has them. It's called bread, and it's by
Brooklyn Bread Rustic Pizzas. They come in the original, and they also have one that I think is Ancient Grains. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter which one you
get
use.
Two of these in a pack.
There's two in a pack. And you can usually find them like near the baked goods section in the store. Okay, so we have one of these.
And by all means, if you want to make your own flatbread, if you're that energetic, you can do that too.
Well, you can do that too. And not here. Okay, so we're going to take this. And the very first thing that we're going to use is a mixture of fresh mushrooms. Now, you can buy, it's like a gourmet mix, they call it. You can, again, Giant or Wegmans would have it. And you can see I have them here. And they come just like this in one of those cellophane packets. And it's a mixture of like Bella's and
sometimes chanterelles,
white mushrooms. If I can find one in here. There you go. A white mushroom and some shiitake mushrooms. Okay? So what I did is
because the reason we're doing this, we love the Giant Market, Mm-hmm. They don't always have things in stock. So if you can't find this gourmet mix, just get yourself a pack of Baby Bellas. They'll work.
Yeah, you don't have to find a gourmet mix. And if you're in the Reading area, I've even found some gourmet mix at Russo's over in Wyomissing. Okay? So, you take my bread, and what I did is I sauteed...
Oh, oven's ready.
Oven's ready. Okay, I gave them all a rough chop. and I sauteed them in just a little bit of olive oil. Just enough to soften them up. You don't want to brown them. You don't want to make them crispy. Remember that when you are sauteing your mushrooms, you put your mushrooms in and you wait a little bit. You'll see some water come out, and then you can add a little bit of salt and pepper to it. Don't add the salt right away. You'll take all of the moisture right out of your mushrooms, and you don't want to do that. So we're going to take these mushrooms and we are going to sprinkle them over the crust. They smell really good.
Yeah, the aromatics in here are amazing. Just for pure reference, you might watch this at 1 in the morning or 8 a.m. It's dinner time here, and when this is done and we sign off, this is supper.
Yeah, this is dinner tonight with a nice fresh green salad.
Absolutely. If you're so inclined. If you don't, make 2 of them and have at it.
Okay, so there we go. I've got my mushrooms on the bread. The next thing I'm going to add is some Fontina cheese, which is an Italian soft cheese.
Excuse me, not goat's milk. It's cow's milk cheese.
Cow's milk cheese. It's very mellow. It is such a beautiful melt. If you want a grilled cheese sandwich,
oh my God,
this is the stuff.
I don't even need
mozzarella, dear.
Oh, all right, that's good too.
He's just another pretty face. But
I'm just
anyway,
a cheese hound.
Here we go. So the Fontina is what you want. Melts beautifully. Again, Redner's,
Look in the Italian section.
And
in Wegmans.
Wegmans. This is in the Italian section in Wegmans. But I love Fontina because it is so creamy.
And for you locals, you'll get plenty of Fontina at Russo's Market as well.
I shredded it. And we're going to add lots of it to the top of this pizza.
Here, let's move this out of here so you can show them when you're done what it looks like.
Okay, there we go. And then we're going to I took cubed mozzarella, and this is the dried mozzarella that you get in the dairy section that comes in the ball, or you can get it in a cube. Don't use the fresh mozzarella, it's too soft.
By the way, this food's very heart healthy.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because it warms my heart when I eat a piece of this.
This isn't something that you're going to eat every night. So if you're having some cholesterol problems, you just want to have a little bit of cheese.
Have it for breakfast too.
Every now and then. You saw I cubed it, and I'm going to put that on there. Next, I cut up some red onion, fresh. And we're going to sprinkle that on there. Nice. It's colorful. Okay. And last but not least, and believe me, this makes a big difference in the taste. Thyme. You can use fresh thyme. My garden isn't doing so well this year, so I have to use dried. But you just sprinkle some thyme over the top.
Move that over there so they can see it.
And this is what our
voila.
pizza looks like.
So that's the before. So while all those ingredients marinate on this
pizza peel,
I'm going to introduce the wines that we're going to share with you, because the wonderful thing about this wine is that it will pair with quite a few wines because of the fact that normally when you think of pizza, you're going to think of some red sauce on the pizza. I like to think of this more as a flatbread, which for those of you that dine out a lot or make them at home, flatbreads can have anything on them. They can have pineapple, they can have It doesn't even have to have cheese. You can make a flatbread out of almost anything. So because you can make this flatbread without having to rely on red sauce, it gives you a wide range of wine profiles that I think work well. Your glass empty?
Almost. And since I'm standing next to the oven, it's hot.
It is a little warm in here, gang. Our oven's like 4 feet from us. This is one of the wines we're going to pair. We were sampling this beforehand, so that's why that one's almost gone. But again, you know,
notice how we a sample.
So I'll talk about the wines when we taste it with each one. Then I'm going to tell you more about each of the wines themselves. So we're going to start with the white. The white that I'm recommending for you to have with this could be anything unoaked, but I'm going to ask you, because of the Fontina cheese, not ask you, suggest to you that you use that you think about pairing this with a nice Pinot Grigio. And when I say a nice Pinot Grigio, the nicer it is, the nicer you're pairing. So this is a Pinot Grigio that is actually from Italy, and I'll talk about it more when we bring the pizza out of the oven. The second pairing I would recommend, you can go white, rosé, or red, because mushrooms, believe it or not, are a very versatile food for wine pairing. You can go the spectrum, red, white, and rosé. So the rosé we have here is a California. This Pinot Grigio is actually an Italian, and I have an Oregonian Pinot Noir for the red selection. The actual true best pairing of the three of these with this is probably the red, because of the mushrooms and Pinot Noir they're just like a hand in a glove. So the others, though, are going to work very well, and the reason that the Pinot Grigio will work well is it's a medium-bodied wine, and a lot of people don't think of that. The acidity's down a little bit in the Pinot Grigio. It's a little bit more full-bodied, like a Chardonnay. Chardonnay's another good recommendation, but please, it's an unoaked style Chardonnay that you want to have with this. Sauvignon Blanc would probably go well with this too. Any kind of rosé you have, I think, will work. And Pinot Noir from any region in the world, I think, will work as well. So when we come back, after we've put this in the oven, we're going to share with you how it looks after it comes out of the oven. And we're going to take a few bites and sip the wines at the same time and share our thoughts. So come back, take a little break,
Ready?
Go have yourself a glass of wine, and we'll see you soon.
Here
Don't
we
go away.
In the oven at 500 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes. Watch it because you don't want it to burn.
Talk to you soon.